Hi, my friends. I'm going to show you right now how to use a compound interest calculator that I love. This is the primary one that I have used the last 10 years. It comes from the United States government. It's at Investor.gov. All kinds of financial tools on this website, but I'm taking you right to the compound interest calculator. I'm going to show you in 2 minutes how to use this so you can run your own numbers. All right, so I'm going to give you a classic Latte Factor example. You go in here and you go initial investment. Now, when I run these calculations, I start with 0 because I'm assuming you're starting with 0. Now, you can't run this by the day, so I'll run it by the month. So, example, when I say save $10 a day, I'll put in here $300. Now I want to know how, if I started at 20 and I saved $10 a day, what could this be worth in 40 years? So you can pick the time frame. Whatever time frame you want. I'm going to give you the 40-year time frame example. Now down here, you've got to put in estimated interest rates. Now, you're just making this up. This is not guaranteed. People are like, where are you getting this rate? You're creating the rate. You're picking it yourself. I'm going to show you right now 10%. Why 10%? That's what the stock market has averaged with reinvested dividends for over 100 years. The last 10 years has averaged over 15%. I never run calculations at 15%. 10% is the highest. If you don't believe you can earn 10%, rerun it lower. But we're just going to show you. All right, now you got to choose how are you going to compound it? Annually, monthly, daily, quarterly, semi-annually. Let's just for right now run it annually. Sometimes I run it monthly, but now mostly I run it annually. It's more conservative. Again, this is just a compound interest calculator. This is not a guaranteed investment. It's just showing you what money can compound to. Boom, I'm going to click calculate. So if somebody saves $10 a day and they earn 10% annually on their money, compounded in 40 years, that is worth $1,593,333.20. Wow, okay, that was $10 a day. That's pretty impressive, right? What happens if I go back in here? By the way, this is just for you to see. What if you compound this monthly? You'll see it's going to grow $187,000. You're putting money in monthly, but money's not typically compounding monthly. It's also not compounding annually. I'd probably run it annual. All right, now let me just go back. So I just go back. I'd run it annually. Now you've got two choices. All right, what if I wanted to save $20 a day? What if I say, because I'm going to talk about this a lot when I put out the Automatic Millionaire, and if you're here, chances are you read the Automatic Millionaire book. I think at a minimum today, you need to be saving $20 a day, at least, right? That's basically what minimum wage is. Hopefully most of you can save more than that. $20 a day in 40 years at 10%. Annually, what are we looking at? $3,186,606. Wow. Now, there's a calculation in the book that I ran that you saw in the Automatic Millionaire where I talk about the fact that the average American spends $27.40 a day on little things, and that adds up to $10,000 a year. And so what would that look like? What would happen if you saved $10,000 a year? That's $833 a month. In 40 years, what would that be worth? Could be worth $442,155. Now, some of you are going to go, well, I don't have 40 years. Okay, so let's go back and do the math again. Let's look at it another way. What if you did 30 years? Again, this is just showing you how to play with this. 30 years. You can see a big difference there, right? Is that incredible? In 30 years, you'd have $1,644,000. This is why you need to start saving in your 20s. This is why if you've got young kids, you got to show them this. What happens if you go to the length of time, which is 20 years? I'm going to depress some of you guys. Now it's worth $572,000. Let me tell you something. For anybody who's just getting started and you're in your 40s or your 50s, that is better than having nothing. All right, now let's take this rate down a little bit. What happens if you get 7%? $409,000. This is somebody who's saving $833 a month, and in 20 years, compounded annually at 7%, they're going to have $409,000. Makes you want to start again when you're young, right? I'll go back and do the same calculation here. At 40 years, look at that. It's 4 times more, $195,000. So that is a person who is saving that for, that can't be right. No, all right, that is right. That's the lower interest rate. That is right. That's the lower interest rate, right? That's like if you got a little bit less than what a balanced portfolio has been averaging. By the way, what happens if you just earn, say you just earn 4%, you leave it in cash. Look at this. You have 900, you can basically have less than $1 million. Your money can't sit in cash, you guys. It's got to be growing. That's why in the Automatic Millionaire, I talk about target dated mutual funds, balanced funds, index funds. You cannot leave your money in cash. You leave your money in cash, it is not going to grow. If you're somebody in your 50s and you've got 10 years to go here before you want to retire, and you earn 4%, you save $10,000 a year, you have $120,000 at 4%. The math doesn't work. Look, by the way, don't get mad at me. This is just a compound interest calculator. I'm not saying these things. The calculator is saying it. So now you've got your tool. This is a great tool. Go play with it. People are like, how do I teach my kids about money? Take this right here. Show it to your kids. Literally sit down with them. My son Jack is 22 years old. I just did this. I'm like, Jack, you're 22 years old. My son right now has $24,000 already in his Roth IRA. And I said, Jack, you got $24,000 in your Roth IRA. If you save $833 a month, which is $27.40 a day, which is nothing, right? That's him going out and having one drink, going to Chipotle and having lunch, going to Starbucks and having 2 coffees and putting a tip down. If he saves $27.40 a day, $833 a month, that's $10,000 a year. I said, Jack, I want to show you something. This is what you could have. And by the way, he's not going to get 4%. So let's give him a realistic rate. Let's give him 8. Let's say he doesn't put it on the stock market, right? What's he going to have? $3,110,000. All right. That is a solid starter package. By the way, I told my son I don't want him to only have $3,110,000. I want him to max out his 401k plan. So I don't want him to just use a Roth IRA. What I really want him to be doing when he gets his first job coming here in 10 months is I want him saving about $2,000 a month. Now, again, I know this is going to just fire up a lot of people, but that's a game changer there. Okay, so my son's got $24,000 in a Roth IRA. If he maxes out his 401k plan, and he can use the Roth IRA here because he's going to have a Roth 401k plan at work, and he puts it out for 40 years at 62 at 8%, $6,738,000. Now, I'm going long on this now. I was going to do this in 2 minutes, but this is like a lesson here. Here's the thing. Most people don't start saving in their 20s. The reason I updated the Automatic Millionaire specifically was to get another generation to save and invest automatically. And I wanted this book for my kids. So I've got a 22-year-old and a 15-year-old. I wanted this book to be able to help them and motivate them to start younger. I wanted this little video I'm shooting for you, just totally impromptu. I want you to be able to share it with your kids and share it with your friends. Most people think about saving in their 20s. They don't really get serious about possibly doing it until their 30s. Remember this number, $6,738,000. This is for my son. If my son dallies around and doesn't get serious about saving in his 20s, right out of college, and he waits till he's in his 30s, look at this number. Half, $2,960,000. Still good, but man, it is a huge difference. You want to talk about a different type of retirement? That's a big difference in retirement. What if he does what a lot of people do? He waits till he's in his 40s. Okay, and by the way, I've got him at a huge savings rate, right? I've got him saving $2,000 a month with an initial investment of $24,000 at an 8% rate of return. Something got done wrong here. Sorry, I left it at 40 years. Go back to 20 years. Watch this. $1,210,000. So he didn't save in his 20s. He got married in his 30s. He didn't think he could do it. He waited till his 40s. All right, still in good shape, right? But he's saving a lot of money, by the way. He's saving $2,000 a month in this example, and he's got $1,210,000 at 60. What if he waits until his 50s? I'm just going to do this one more time. So now he's got 10 years, and we ran this at 8%. That's what a balanced portfolio has averaged now for decades. It's got $399,000. I mean, the message here, it's just got to be so loud and clear. The math, it's just math. This is not miracles, it's just math. Compound interest works when you work it. When you start when you're young and you use this miracle of compound interest, the math of compound interest, everything is easier. So go play with this tool. Try everything you want. Run the numbers that you've got. Maybe some of you have $500,000 right now because you've been saving and you're in your 50s. And now you go, all right, I got to step up my savings. Put in your $500,000. Can I contribute $2,000 a month? I don't know if you can. But let's just run this. What does this look like? $1,042,000. This is the basics of retirement planning. So go play with this calculator. It's free. Take a look at it. Again, this is Investor.gov, compound interest calculator. If this got forwarded to you, my name is David Bach. Come back to davidbach.com. Visit me. I've got a lot of great books that can help you. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I appreciate you being here. Use this tool to motivate yourself to action. Bye-bye.